The answer was yes incidentally, and there weren't too many Stoke fans watching at that moment who'd have dared to disagree. For this was unconvincing at best, deeply worrying at worst. Brentford were the better team, by some margin at times, and certainly looked the far likelier to win the game at both 0-0 and 1-1. The fact that Stoke's goal was such a humongous gift that Benicofobie should really dedicate it to Brentford's goalkeeper and defender was another telling pointer towards the home side's sorry state. Theories for Stoke's inept showing will range from the sympathetic, they were nervous and still shot from last season, to the damning, they arrogantly assume their supposed quality disqualifies them from getting their hands dirty. The net result is an assembly of players looking pedestrian as individuals and disjointed as a collective. The smart money might still be on Stoke finishing above a side like Brentford come next May, but it's becoming increasingly likely that there will be plenty more days like Saturday and the previous Sunday before they do. Joe Allen tangles with Josh McEachran as Stoke City take on Brentford. Image, Steve Bold leads winning 4-1 at Derby 6 days after putting Stoke away offers us some consolation, but they really must get their own house in order, and thank heavens the club seems to have a manager willing and able to do just that. Eventually. Gary Rowett wasn't so precious towards himself or his players that he would shy away from changes on Saturday as he changed both his opening day formation, from 4-3-3 to more of a 4-2-3-1, and a couple of personnel to accommodate the previously pensioned-off Darren Fletcher and the seemingly abandoned figure of Boyan. Fletcher represents a step back in defensive terms, but one Stoke clearly require in the short term, while Boyan represents that one free spirit every team must try to accommodate, particularly on home soil. Elsewhere in the ranks, Stoke's fullbacks remain a cause for concern in their central defence, a work in progress after Bruno Martinsendi's early injury forced a change, while the midfield area will benefit once Joe Allen rediscovers his best form. Talking points as Stoke City fans ask to take a leap of faith. Tom Ince looks like he's prepared to roll his sleeves up and gee up the rest of the team when events are going against them, but James McLean clearly has plenty of cobwebs to blow away still. As a team, meanwhile, they were painfully second best for the opening quarter of the game as Brentford looked and played like a team familiar and comfortable with one another. While they were getting from one end of the pitch to another with a series of incisive passes, Stoke were relying on longer and more hopeful stuff to generate any kind of momentum. Ryan Shawcross beats Josh McEachran in the air as Stoke City take on Brentford. Image, Steve Bold. Stoke's ineptitude was best summed up by the underhit pass which left a distinctly uncomfortable Ryan Shawcross being dispossessed and only Martinsendi's do-or-die challenge preventing a shot past Jack Butland. And later in the first half, Fletcher's obligatory caught-in-possession moment, the only real blot on his copybook, left Neil Maupay through on goal for a second time before scuffing his shot as Butland bore down on him. The fact that Stoke were leading by the time of that second chance owed everything to Brentford and next to nothing to themselves. For McLean's ball down the left channel required a simple header back to the keeper, but said keeper had inexplicably come storming out of his area to leave his defender's header rolling towards an empty goal before Phobie chased through to touch home. Benicofobie celebrates after scoring during the Sky Bet Championship match between Stoke City and Brentford at the Bet365 Stadium. Image, Nathan Sturck. Brentford, notwithstanding that chance from Fletcher's error, were wobbling for the only time all afternoon, and Stoke might have doubled their lead and taken the points during their best spell of the game just before half-time. Moritz Bauer surely saw the benefits of a first-time cross when McLean headed narrowly wide of the near post, then Ince headed goalwards and saw his effort cleared off the line in a crowded goal mouth. The fact that Ince produced Stoke's only real goal threat thereafter, a 56-minute effort blocked by a sliding challenge, tells you everything you need to know about a second half in which Brentford scored one and came mightily close to at least one more. Their 66th-minute equalizer was the product of further impressive attacking play before Ashley Williams, admittedly under pressure, could only cushion a clearance to the feet of Ollie Watkins for a stinging drive past Butland's dive to his left. Butland thankfully had rather more success with 2 efforts either side of that equalizer as he touched one shot at 1-0 into his side netting and then, with an early contender for his save of the season at 1-1 in the 83rd minute, somehow flung himself acrobatically through the air to apply the merest of fingertips to a fierce cross shot from Watkins. It was also a measure of Brentford's superior pressure that they were denied 2 viable penalty shouts after Bauer had visibly tugged an arm inside his own area, while Eric Peters dived in with everything but the kitchen sink and seemed to clearly take out more man than ball. Ollie Watkins scores the Brentford equaliser during the Sky Bet Championship match against Stoke City at the Bet365 Stadium. Image, Nathan Sturck. Their fortune didn't end there, either, as Mopé's luck in front of goal was summed up in the 90th minute when his low shot had Butland diving and praying as it missed the far post by a whisker. Stoke are going to need such fortune for a little while longer. Just how much longer will shape their entire season.